Hi there, Andrew Lessman here with a little video blog, and it's responding to one of the more frequent questions I'm getting. And it's a question that I rarely saw about 5 years ago, that now I'm seeing all the time. And unfortunately, the products that it relates to, I'm also now seeing all the time. And specifically, what I'm talking about are gummies. Gummies are those nutritional supplements that it wasn't sufficient to put them in a small tablet, or as I do, put them in a very small capsule that contains no lubricants, flowing agents. My goal in making dietary supplements, it's sort of minimalist, giving you exactly what you need without additives, without binders, without fillers, without lubricants, without any garbage. We get enough garbage in our food supply and in our diet that nutritional supplements shouldn't be an additional burden. I've always talked about that in terms of the typical tablets you see on the marketplace, that those tablets contain lots of additives. Gummies have now added insult to injury. Gummies are a worse version of tablets. Gummies take advantage of one of our worst human weaknesses, and that's the need for us to think that something has to taste sweet and sugary for us to consume it. That gummies are the worst of the worst in terms of corporate behavior, where we know that sugar is not a good thing and we need to limit it in our diet. And dietary supplements, vitamin supplements, are supposed to be objectively healthy. That's the only purpose for swallowing them. So when you swallow a gummy, at least all the gummies I'm familiar with, and I hope there's some out there that I'm mistaken, those gummies contain sugar as their primary first ingredient. And those gummies are 10, 15, 20 calories per gummy. And most products require that you swallow several of them. So you're consuming anywhere from 10, 15, 20 up to 60 calories or more in sugar. So it's just appalling to me. Vitamins are not supposed to be candy. A number of years ago, there's a company that makes vitamin C beverages that a number of years ago I looked into actually buying that company. And my only goal when I bought it would have been to take their vitamin C drinks and get rid of the sugar and make them 0 calorie and 0 sugar, because I thought it was somewhat, dare I say, hypocritical to add sugar to a vitamin and mineral supplement, to a vitamin C beverage. Vitamin C doesn't need to have sugar accompanying it for it to be beneficial and palatable. In fact, by delivering sugar with it, it's not in the best interests of you or your digestive system or your immune system or any system in your body to consume additional sugar. We already do that. So I just have thought, as I watch this gummy business booming, and I'm probably not going to make a lot of friends by recording this, but I watch this gummy business booming and I just continue to scratch my head, because all these gummy companies are doing is treating everyone who buys one of those gummies as a child. That you don't need to be a child eating sugar to swallow the nutrients, and most of them don't contain particularly high levels of nutrients per gummy, so you end up consuming large amounts of calories and additives and all sorts of other ingredients. Even if they call them organic, I looked at some labels recently, they just contain organic sugar and organic sweeteners. So who cares if it's organic? It's still sugar. In fact, with our Choco Nuvo product, dark chocolate, basically a standardized extract of chocolate. I ended up spending a few more years bringing that product to market because my goal was to limit the amount of sugar in it, so that the Choco Nuvo I take every day has less than half a gram of sugar. Less than half a gram is less than 2 calories of sugar. And that's in a yummy little 26 calorie piece of chocolate that also lowers your cholesterol. To think that these gummies that have just vitamins and minerals in them, or some of them contain omega-3s in them, or whatever it might be, that you're consuming dozens of calories of sugar, grams and grams of sugar every single day, it's shocking and appalling to me. And when I think about the fact that they're probably now making billions of gummies a year, if not tens of billions of gummies a year, that means as Americans, we're consuming tens of billions of calories, or it could be hundreds of billions of calories of sugar. when we're just getting a vitamin supplement. And certainly, mine are not the only vitamin supplements in the market, but mine are small capsules, easy to swallow capsules. Anyone could swallow them. And even if they didn't want to, because they're ultrafine powders, they can open up that capsule and they can open it into yogurt or soup or oatmeal or oat bran or a smoothie. So I look at the gummy market as sort of as an inexcusable, opportunistic attempt by my industry, and I say my industry because I make vitamin supplements, but frankly, I don't even look at the gummy industry as vitamin supplements. It's candy, and candy masquerading maybe as a vitamin supplement. And you probably wouldn't have to speak to very many pediatricians or doctors to hear one tell you that they have received calls, probably many calls, where children have overdosed on vitamin supplements. Hopefully, these companies making these gummies are smart enough to know that even putting keep out of the reach of children on a label, that you want to be wary of putting things like iron or other ingredients that a child could potentially overdose on, because I don't care who the child is, they're going to look at these candy-like objects and think it's candy. And so, again, concerning to me. And I know I'm not going to make friends in the gummy industry, but maybe they should stick to making candy, and we could all stay in the vitamin industry making things that actually look like vitamin supplements and don't deliver 10, 20, 50, 60 calories of sugar with each daily dosage. Mind you, if you decide to take your gummies of vitamin D and your gummies in a multivitamin and your gummies in omega-3, by the time you're done, you could be consuming 100 to 200 calories a day in sugar in gummies, which is absolutely unhealthy, horribly unhealthy. So again, I don't typically get up on my soapbox about things, but I would recommend taking a vitamin tablet with all the binders and additives it might contain than taking a gummy. And in fact, the more mass market gummies contain 2, 3, 4 artificial colors. Even the supposedly healthy gummies that I looked at, the organic ones, contained organic carnauba wax. I guess that's how they either seal it up or get it to eject from the mold or something like that. But carnauba wax is like car wax or shoe wax. It just is inconceivable to me that these gummies masquerade as these healthy, desirable products. And some of them actually put some decent vitamin or mineral ingredients in them, but it's an insult. It's an assault on the benefits of those ingredients to put them in a sugar-based product. In fact, as I started talking about before, the vitamin C company that I was thinking of purchasing, but if and only if I could have improved their products, it's taken me over a decade, but we're not long from introducing a vitamin C beverage. And it won't contain 1,000 milligrams, because 500 milligrams in a beverage like that will be better absorbed than 1,000 milligrams. So it makes more sense. You get more bang for your buck and more benefit with 500 milligrams. But again, ours will be 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 carbohydrate. It's only taken me probably about 30 years to perfect, but patience is a virtue, I suppose. But that's coming out. And with that same technology that we've developed, we'll be able to do a children's product. And mind you, by doing a children's product, I like the fact that it's kind of inconvenient, that it's in a packet, that you have to empty the packet. It'll be like a little sugar packet. You'll empty it into some water, and it'll taste absolutely delicious, probably berry flavored or orange flavored. It'll be incredibly delicious, but there'll be no mistaking it for what it is. It won't be perceived as candy also. Even if some child was industrious enough to take that 30-count packet and open it up and have all of them, we'll make sure we formulate it in a way that we don't put ingredients in it that could potentially be harmful to a child who might have chosen to take too much of it. But again, the very nature of the formula, the way we'll deliver it, the way we'll package it, will discourage that from ever happening. So again, that's not the case with gummies. Gummies are, the whole sales pitch on gummies is it's like making your vitamins candy, which means you make your vitamins sugar rich, which means you make your vitamins potentially deceptive to children who might think it's candy and a potential risk. So I just can't comprehend the existence of this entire enormous and burgeoning, growing marketplace of gummies, except for the fact that they've taken advantage of our human weakness. We all like sweet things. But it doesn't mean that all of us who are trying to eat less candy, now we're eating gummies, and it's just the same sugar as you'd find in candy. Your body can't recognize the difference. So I probably sound like a broken record. And probably those of you who are watching this use my products and you don't take gummies. So you're probably wondering why I'm railing about this, but hopefully others will speak out further. I think it's a shame that the vitamin industry has now decided to become, really purveyors of candy. When I make my dark chocolate, I'm very clear that it ain't candy. It's not candy in the least. And I say that all the time, that it's basically a dark chocolate. It's a dark standardized extract of the cocoa bean. And that's how we make our chocolate. And the hardest part of the process wasn't figuring out how to give it a creamy texture with that cholesterol-lowering ingredient. The hardest part of the process was selecting a chocolate that, when combined with that cholesterol-lowering ingredient, I could use less sugar. I could get away with literally less than half a gram of sugar in a typical square little 26-calorie piece. That was the difficult process, because the way I've eaten for decades now is I try to reduce my sugar intake. It's something we should all try to do. We don't need added sugar in our diet. And least of all from dietary supplements, where there's an abundance of quality supplements on the market. Certainly we make a number of them that can deliver the nutrients that you seek without the sugar. And that's what I find, regardless of the choice of ingredients in the gummy products, what I find abhorrent is that in order to make them, they're making a candy. And we all know that candy isn't in our best interests. Supplements and the nutrients they contain are. That's their very definition, but the sugar that's accompanying them in gummies is not, and all the other additives as well. So sorry to go on at length about this. It's something that has bothered me for quite a while as I watch this industry just growing like crazy, and I view it as unfortunate. The only time you'll ever see me making a gummy is if that gummy is made of some beneficial ingredient, like it's made out of marine collagen, perhaps, which we've actually looked at doing. So then you're getting a beneficial ingredient, not some unnecessary additives. And if we could give it the flavor that you'd enjoy without using sugar, just as I've managed to do with my vitamin C drink, which you'll probably be seeing in 4 to 6 months, somewhere in that neighborhood. So nothing like that comes easily. It's going to require that we do work that no one else has ever done. But it's something that we will hopefully accomplish in the future, where we make a product like that not a compromise to your health, but actually deliver additional health benefits when you use it. Well, hopefully that wasn't too long a dissertation on the problems associated, or the frightening facts, as I like to say, about gummies. But hopefully if you have a friend using them, you could give them a little bit of a greater insight as to what they're really doing. Thanks, and have a great summer.